Hey tubers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the Metamorph by who? Real Steel. Okay, this is going to be a short video. I actually carried this knife for a little over 2 weeks. Really got to know it, know all of its good flaws. It's good flaws, yeah. Its flaws, it's good. So I got to carry this knife for a little over 2 weeks. Got to learn all about it. It has a few flaws, I think. It has some good things about it. Probably the best thing about it is its biggest flaw, and that's the flipper. You know, this top flipper. It's neat. It gives you something to mess with, but man, it can give you headaches. So for a little over 2 weeks, I've been messing with it, trying to get used to it, and you just feel retarded half the time. I don't know. You just feel like you need to wear a little helmet. I don't know. Don't get offended if you wear a helmet. I'm sorry, but man, half the time I pull it out and it's just, and then the other times it pulls right out and goes switch, and all of a sudden I'm feeling good. But if you like a challenge, this is definitely the knife. Now, once you get the knife open, though, I must say it is a slicey little sucker. That blade, I like the length of it. It's very slim and pokey, which I like. I like a slicey knife. And this thing with the 14C 28N, it actually it came fairly sharp. The first thing I did though was broke out my very first strop. This was my very first of many hundreds of strops. I went ahead and I got the stropping edge up, and it didn't take much. I know I need to clean my strop every time. But either way, it didn't take much, and it did refine the edge a little bit, and it cuts through everything. I'm liking this steel. I think that Real Steel, I don't know the HRC or anything, but I think they did a pretty good job on this steel, because all I've done since I've had it is strop it, which that's what I expect to do with most of my knives. We'll go ahead and get it under the table camera and let you get a better, closer look, because we want to see how she wore after 2 weeks. And a few of the highlighted parts of this. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, so if you look at it, it's got a beautiful aluminum scales, really nice. Blade centering, I'm liking it. It looks pretty good to me. You be the judge. Looks good there. Deep carry pocket clip, very nice. Blade really got a neat design. It's kind of rounded on the top here. I like that. Back, it's got this aluminum spacer. I'm digging that because it's not just flat. They put that little slot in there. Really nice. The blade itself, let's see. It does have some skeletonization to it. I don't know if you can actually see it, but yeah, you probably can. Nice skeletonization to the handle. What I really like on this knife is this right here, this liner lock. There's no mistaking finding it. It's just, well, look at me go. It is just there. Bearings, smooth as glass, but that liner lock tab is just, it's nice. Another part I like about it is right here, is they took and brought this further forward, so if you do close it, it usually hits in a safe spot. I've never been cut by it. I've carried it for over 2 weeks. As far as the scales themselves, there is right here a rub mark. I don't know if you can see it, but it did take some of the aluminum off. And if you look at this top edge here, you can see that it has rub. Now that's just 2 weeks of wear. I don't know what she's going to look like if I was to carry her every day, but it's got this real nice beveled look to it right here. Really liking that. You got a little pivot screw adjustment there, of course. But as far as the knife itself, this is the only real drawback, and that is there's like very little to get on here. And as you drive through, if you don't make a sweeping motion, because your thumb's going to come off regardless when it gets to there, there's really nothing to grab a hold of to bring it the rest of the way through. It should have been rounded more. But, I mean, you can still do it. So I would say that's its biggest Achilles heel. They should have rounded this back in some more, or brought this out a little bit more. The blade shape is really beautiful, to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and clean that off a little. See what we got there. But yeah, the blade shape is really nice. I like this top little funky swedge. I really like how they brought that forward. I really do. And it says 14C28N. But what's interesting too about it is if you drop it like that, there's a little notch right there, and that just kind of follows the form of the knife, at least the handle. But nice little clip there, really pretty. Sits in the pocket real good. You barely know it's there. Weighs hardly nothing. Let's go ahead and get a weight on this monster, because she is a light girl. With the aluminum scales and the skeletonized liners, she's coming in at 2.57, so under 3 ounces easily. As far as her length, let me get you set up there. She's not much in the size department, but okay, we're getting at 3 3/4 on the blade. That's from cutting edge. You're looking at about 3 1/4. Overall length, you're talking just a little over 8 inches. That's what I'm seeing. And handle in the pocket. Looks like yeah, just a little over 4.5. So she's a good size. I like this size knife. I truly do. As far as flicking, I think she works pretty good. I truly don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it every day. I mean, if you carried it all the time, then yeah, it'd be okay. But the problem is this thing is so slim, and they give you so little real estate up here to do that flicking. You just feel like you gotta like grab it like this, just to hold on to it. It feels like you could throw it away, but and I'm sure people have thrown it. But see, if you don't get it just right, you'll love it, but it'll also drive you nuts. I mean, you want to master this knife. It's a beautiful knife. I think it's kind of classy. You could, kind of dress up for a summertime knife. This a little large, for the office. I mean, you might get away with it in your office, but I would probably not do that. I would take something a little smaller. Love the knife. Probably keep it. I love the metal. And, if you're looking into this knife, I would say definitely get it for the money. I mean, I didn't pay a whole lot for it. I forget what I paid for this stupid thing. I think it was right at $60. That's kind of on the high side for 14C28N, but I'm really liking it with the bearings in here and all that you get. I think that it's a fair price, to be honest with you. This is like the second or third. Yeah, it's the second version. I know they have it in G10. They say it's a little more grippy, but I got so much G10. I wanted something that was a little more fancy, so I went with the aluminum. I'm sure all of them will be a good decision. Like I said, that little part when you drop it over, I mean, it's not going to cut you. It's a sweet little deal. Drops nice. Lockup is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's plenty. not going to worry about it. Like the knife. Lots of fun. Hope you like it. If you want it, you know where to get it. And we'll see you later.